this will happen. Here are 5 Windows settings you need to know. Let's go to Settings, and then down to Software Update, and then go to Advanced. And here there's some settings that you might want to change. So in Windows Updates, it might give you like a 15-minute notice and you just disregard it. You might be in the middle of doing something and all of a sudden your computer decides to restart, interrupting your work and possibly even causing you to lose your work because it didn't have time to save it. So we want to turn this off. This will basically disable Windows from restarting when it wants to install an update. And you can do it manually afterwards when you're ready. And then because I've turned this setting off, I've turned this one here on, so it notifies me when I do need to restart. Number 2 is not so much a setting as more just something that is very important to know when apps freeze up on you. So let's say I have a File Explorer window open here and it's not responding. So I click on exit, but it just doesn't do anything. Easy way to kind of restart the whole File Explorer system is to just right click in the taskbar and go to Task Manager. Now we see the whole list here is constantly shifting and moving around. To stop it, hit Control and then right click on File Explorer, or called Windows Explorer in this case, and then hit Restart. Now don't hit End Task, otherwise this will happen. And then you'll have to log out of your computer or shut it down, restart it for File Explorer to restart itself. So don't hit End Task, instead hit Restart. Some apps need to run as administrator to be able to function properly or run at all. But it's annoying to have to do that every time. Find the app, right click and run as admin. So instead, just find the shortcut, right click on it. Then in Windows 11, you're going to have to hit More Options, then go down to Properties, then to Shortcut, Advanced, and check Run as Administrator. Hit OK, and hit OK again. Now it's going to ask you for administrative permission to make this change, and you're good to go. When we have issues with computers, we shut them down, right? Or restart them. But in order to shut down Windows properly nowadays, you need to change some settings. Hit Windows, then search for Power, and then go to Choose Power Plan. Then over on the left, change what the power buttons do. I don't know why it says buttons, I only have one power button. And then at the top here, click on Change Settings that are currently unavailable. And that enables you to change these settings here. Now you want to uncheck Turn on Fast Startup. What this actually does, when you shut down your computer and then boot it up again, it'll actually boot it up quickly. So it'll kind of save everything that you've been doing. It's basically hibernating it. It's the same as hitting hibernate. Windows 7 had this, I believe Windows 10 might have also had the hibernate button. Now it's unchecked. If you want it back, you can just check this. Because we are disabling fast startup, it's a good idea to enable hibernate and to make it show up in the list, which is this list here. If you go to Windows and then Power, this is the list I'm talking about here. Now, as soon as we apply these settings, hibernate is going to show up here. If you have fast startup enabled, your app cache and everything that's kind of running in the background to make everything work kind of stays running. It's just hibernating. So when you start it up again, all your issues that you might have had are still going to be there. Now going to the top, let's also change some of these settings. I use a monitor and often use an external keyboard. In that case, I just close my laptop and put it off to the side. So I'm going to change what closing the lid does and set it to do nothing, because I want the screen to stay on so it's still casting to my monitor. Pressing the sleep button can just get it to sleep, and then when I'm on battery, pressing the power button, I will set that to hibernate just to keep the battery from draining. And then when it's plugged in, I'm also going to change this to do nothing. And when I press the power button, I'm going to leave this at, put it to sleep. I'm actually going to change this here because it's on battery. I'm going to change this to sleep instead. Now let's save these changes. And now if we hit start and hit the power button, you can see hibernate right here. And if we hit shutdown, it'll now properly shut down and actually give us a proper restart. And now for the last one, let's increase our privacy a little bit. Microsoft doesn't need to know everything we're doing. This will be in settings again. Let's go down to privacy and security, then general, and let's disable a lot of these. I'm just going to kind of explain a little bit what these are doing. That apps show me personalized ads by using my advertising ID. So this is basically Microsoft tracking you. So every account is associated with an advertising ID, and that ID kind of follows you around on whatever websites you're going on and serving you ads based on your web activity. I don't want that, so I'm going to turn this off. The next one is let Windows show me locally relevant content by accessing my language lists. Again, I don't want that. I'm going to turn it off. Let Windows improve start and search results by tracking app launches. Microsoft does not need to know what apps I'm using. I'm going to turn that off. And the second to last one here is show me suggested content in the settings app. I don't want that neither. And the last one here is show me notifications in the settings app. When off, required notifications are still shown. So not required settings, popping up. I might leave it. Let's turn that off as well. So now with all these off, Microsoft will not be tracking us quite as much, especially the advertising ID. It's also a good idea to sign out of your Microsoft account and use a local account instead. So if we go into settings here and then go into accounts, you can see here it's a Microsoft account. I am not signed in and I don't intend on signing in. Even if you go on home here, it's again trying to ask me to sign in, but I'm not going to unless I want access to Microsoft's suite of apps here. Then I might sign in to get those, install them, and then sign back out. And if you want to find out how to recover any deleted file, then watch this video here.